two history-rich programs inside the Horizon League. Detroit, 3-time champions. Milwaukee with a couple titles of their own in this Horizon League tournament. So two blue bloods of the Horizon League will do battle in the first game of this Motor City Madness, as Hogan and Brett Prawl will jump it up, and it's controlled by the home team Titans in their hometown in front of their home fans. You take a look at the starters there. We mentioned Hogan. Watch out for the Horizon League freshman of the year. Corey Allen's a sharpshooter, but Hogan goes to work quickly and scores.
Yeah, he got defender caught on the back side of him, and then he just rolled to the basket. That's easy for him. That's a piece of cake.
Second team All Horizon League was Jaleel Hogan, who showed more this year than just being an offensive and dynamic rebounding force, and that time showing the strength against Prawl, earns the held ball. The possession stays with the Panthers.
Really good aggressive play by the big fella out on the court. Tied him up, didn't foul. Officials all over the call, and we get a jump.
Team's looking for position. Now the officials happy with where things stand. It is August Haas who runs the point for Milwaukee. He's a freshman from Denmark. Cody Whitman is the sharpshooter for Milwaukee. One of the lone holdovers from the Rob Jeter era from a year ago, and Stull goes right to work.
Yeah, really nice take. Protect the basketball on his hip and get them on the board.
Paul Schelt, Chris Beaver, Owen Short are three officials as we set the 13 that will run up and down the floor here this evening.
Any game has Chris Beaver on, it's a big game.
Absolutely. First
Good
shot
official.
missed by Allen, the All Horizon League freshman performer. Whitman didn't get the right pass, instead gave it up. Jeremy Johnson has not been shooting well of late, but gets his own miss, but had it poked away by Jenkins. Titans will look to run against Milwaukee that wants to plot it down. That's a quick shot by Josh McFauley, maybe too fast for Detroit.
Saw Laval Jordan turn to his guys. Settle down. He does not want to play at Detroit Mercy's pace. He wants to play at his pace. He said, he told me, he goes, we have to guard without fouling. If we cannot guard them and it's a track meet, we're in big trouble.
Prawl tries to back in Hogan. That's an immovable object if you try and move against him, and had to kick it out. Stahl recognizes, but a little bit too late, and a great save by Wickman off the leg of Chris Jenkins. Just 2 seconds left on the shot clock. There's Laval Jordan, first-year coach at Milwaukee. Had a lot of attrition to deal with. Wickman really the only regular that stayed. They've lost 9 straight entering this tournament, but so many expect Laval Jordan to build this program back into a contender in a very short period of time.
He was a really good player, really good at Butler. Remember doing his last game in the regular season and watch him go over and kiss the court, center court, and he knew how special it was to be a college athlete.
And you saw quickly there Bakari, I should say Alexander for Detroit. They were coaching staff, I guess you could call them teammates, under John Beilein at Michigan the last couple of years, now coaching against each other. A year ago this time they were prepping for a Michigan postseason run. Fast forward a year, they're both coaching in the first round of the Horizon League tournament.
Okay, so Bakari Alexander is the only coach in NCAA history to do something. He's the only coach in NCAA history to have played for the Harlem Globetrotters. How about that?
That one knocked out, last touched by Milwaukee. It'll be Detroit ball, and you get a better look at the former Globetrotter and Bakari Alexander, who is also one of about 35 coaches around the country coaching for his alma mater.
Right, 37 head coaches coaching their alma mater. Only head coach who ever played for the Harlem Globetrotters, and he's the 21st head coach in UWM history.
Cap already full of trivia. We're only 1 game into the weekend.
You'll have the rest of it.
Hogan draws the double. Great ball movement around the perimeter, but even better closed by Wickman. 6 to shoot. Robinson Jr. trying to go to work. Allen has to heave it quickly, and that's a shot clock violation. That is exactly what Laval Jordan wants.
Well, it's a really good start for Milwaukee because of their defense. I mean, really nice. Look at the closeout here. Get it out of here. And Detroit maintains the possession and still can't get a good shot off.
Milwaukee will make you work hard, and they will not turn it over on the other end. Scoring can be difficult, but if this game stays low scoring, where they want to give themselves a chance. Neither team has scored in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Wickman. Now Prawl. Good spin move on Hogan and a good finish.
Really nice footwork. Good job to feel Hogan from the backside. Give him a little fake to the right, roll back left, and get the easy bucket. It's just strange to look out and not see Matt Tybee, who played about 28 years here.
In and out for Allen. He's missed his first 3 from the field. Wickman. He has the green light from anywhere. That may have been just a bit too far early. And again, the scoring drought continues for Detroit. And that drive by Jenkins right into the body of Haas. He gets called for the offensive foul. And Milwaukee has to be pleased with the first 4 minutes of work in this one. Hard working on the offensive end, even harder on the defensive end. Teams to play on, that may be a reason for the cold shooting start. 3 of 14 combined are these two teams. And we had trivia in the first segment. Trivia for you, Cap. Hockey was not the first activity and sporting event in this building.
No, actually, it was 85-72. That would have been Michigan beating then the University of Detroit.
And now Detroit Mercy. And the Titans, they would love a magical run to be the last basketball game played after being in the first basketball game in this building. And Milwaukee efficient out of the timeout as Bryce Enzi off the bench makes it a 6-0 Milwaukee run.
That game was, I believe, December of 79.
12-12.
You weren't even born yet.
I was not.
I had already graduated high school.
But who's counting?
That's it.
Where does Detroit go to find a bucket?
Right there.
The only man that has one muscles his way into Enzi, but Enzi got the best of him. Watch out for the freshman. Dangerous in transition, but Milwaukee, as always, will work for good looks. Wickman. Beautiful head fake and in rhythm. That is easy pickings.
Really nice job on a head and shoulder fake. Really nice job.
His first 3, Allen trying to match and does. In the Horizon League Freshman of the Year, Corey Allen, who averaged 16 a game against Milwaukee in 2 meetings this year, but they've really made him work. Was slumping a bit at the end of the year and is trying to break out of it here in Detroit. Haas doubled. I mean, someone's open. That someone is Enzi, who's left open off the grapevine by Bryce Barnes.
What I really like is not only the unselfishness, but you called it early, the defensive presence that Milwaukee has. The game is being played at a pace right now that they're very comfortable with.
Enzi trying to face guard Hogan. And Detroit has been forced to play pitch and catch around the perimeter for the first 15 seconds of every possession. Wild drive, wild miss by McFoley. Here comes Milwaukee looking to extend. Barnes. And look at Haas. Immediately grab it, Cap, and say, nope, slow it down. Haas had it tipped. Stahl comes away with it. He'll ISO against Allen, go right between them. Hogan didn't come to help, and that's easy at the rim by Stahl.
I don't know what Hogan was doing. Hogan was down low, could have easily rolled over, helped, and forced him either into a really tough shot, gotten it blocked, or forced him to kick it back out. He took the smaller man and was able to go right down the lane and score.
Largest lead of the first half.
Watch the last bucket. When you talk about points in the paint, you throw the ball in here. Hogan's standing right there. You got a defender go right back. Hogan never reacts. That can't happen. Points in the paint. 8-2 UWM right now. That's why they've got an 8-point lead.
Detroit Mercy scrambling right now to find any semblance of offense. They're one of their last 9. That one being the Allen three-pointer, but no real clean looks. There's Enzi on the hard hedge, disrupting Allen. Gerard Williams is in for the first time. He wears that big brace on the left knee. Hogan met by a triple team. McFoley long 3. No friendly roll.
One and done. Great steal.
Read
the whole way. That is the mistake that you cannot make, and Laval Jordan is furious with his guys.
More furious that Enzi was the one trying to bring it up and didn't have a ball handler to get the basketball from him. McFauley, one of the best in the league in steals, averaging over 2 a game. Enzi on the baseline and put the shoulder down into Allen and gets called for the offensive foul as momentum tries to shift.
That's just reading the play. He sees it the whole way. And then you go to the other end and they take a charge, and that's a bad 20 seconds for Milwaukee. Maybe that lights a fire under UDM.
Cap, so much of the battle between Milwaukee and Detroit Mercy in this one has to do with two programs that are admittedly in a rebuilding process. But Laval Jordan inherited significantly less to work with than did Bakari Alexander at Detroit. But Laval will say, look, it's a little bit of a benefit in that every guy has bought in immediately from day one. We're able to play what we want to play, whereas on the other side, Alexander saying, look, I'm trying to transition some guys who have been used to playing a certain way for 2, maybe 3 seasons as Hogan goes right to work.
Hogan that's just a man's basket. He felt the pressure and just never ran anybody over, never lowered his shoulder, just found a crease and was able to score. But you're right. Milwaukee took over a program that lost all 5 starters, whereas Bakari, he's got a rebuild ahead of him, but there was some pieces left in the program.
Ball, good kick out. That's Jeremiah Bell who swishes the triple. No one works on his shot more, the Panther coaching staff says, than that sophomore from Louisville, and nothing but bottoms to break a 4-0 Titans run. Hogan again, right through the defense, and was fouled on the way up, couldn't finish. Came crashing down and will have to earn his 2 points.
He's out with an ACL. He'll be back next year, just a sophomore. So there is a lot of talent throughout this league and some teams that have really, I think, overachieved through really hard work and good coaching.
Out of the timeout, Jaleel Hogan, not the best free throw shooter, but now has half of Detroit Mercy's points. Put another idea on how balanced the league was this year. You've got a team in Milwaukee at the bottom of the standings who on Oakland's home floor, Cody Whitman got fouled shooting a 3-pointer, needed to make 1 of those free throws, and they likely win that game. Missed all 3 that they eventually lost in overtime. So you have the team that finished 10th, nearly beating the team that finished first on their home floor this year.
Greg Campy talked a lot about that and about the balance of this league. I still say Oakland's the best team in the league. Their style is the toughest to match up with, and I still think if you made me go to the window and pick a team, I'm taking the Oakland Golden Grizzlies.
And again, great ball movement by Milwaukee. They've made 6 straight from the field with precision ball movement. Allen driving, and that's a block under the basket. They'll count it, or they say it's on the floor. The basket will count.
All right, you make the call at home. It's the toughest call in college basketball. That is a charge every day of the week.
Look at those back heels.
Unless he was in the restricted. I couldn't tell. I thought he was out.
So not a 3-point play, but Corey Allen now has 5. And the Titans back within 5 points. Trying to show a little full court pressure to speed up Milwaukee or force a rare turnover. Bell passing through it. Shot clock at 10. And Milwaukee unable to initiate the offense. Shot clock at 6. Haas probing. So crafty through the lane and through 3 white jerseys. The freshman finishes.
You can tell that kid's been in the weight room. This is not a new experience to him. He's got big upper body, strong shoulder. He's a tough kid.
Bad entry pass. Williams stole it right back, but then Prahl was there to pick up the loose ball. Now Haas trying to get out of danger's way. Bell has a 3, but Allen won't let him out of his sights. Shot clock at 6. Bell's waiting for a screen, but has to hurry. That's a tough shot, and he tests the hot streak and keeps it going. 8 straight made baskets now by Milwaukee.
That is just a really tough one when your defense holds you down and the shot clock's expiring. He's asking for a ball screen, doesn't get it, and just rises up and drills it.
And an offensive foul on the other end by Blackshear is, boy, Milwaukee right now a well-oiled machine.
I just like that move. I like that Haas has the ability to get into the lane, complete a play, and then there with 1 on the shot clock, he just says, okay, you're not going to give me my hot ball screen? I'm going to rise up and bury it.
Detroit showing a little bit of life on the offensive end, but Titans have no answer defensively for the Panthers. Good ball movement again. Stahl had his man on his heels, and the floater is pure.
Wisconsin-Milwaukee is playing outstanding basketball right now. I like their approach at both ends of the court.
Wild drive through 2 defenders, and McFoley finishes. Milwaukee has scored on their last 4 possessions. They've hit their last 9 field goals as Prahl won't have a chance to make a bucket there, but will step to the line.
I mean, Milwaukee is cooking right now. This is just a really tough take. Hogan challenges the shot there, and then there's the finish inside for Detroit. That's just a really, really tough basket to finish for McFoley, but he was able to do it. But the one thing, when you look at these 2 teams, if you're just sitting there going, okay, what is it that I can exploit as a coach? Neither team has what you would call a shot blocker inside. They don't have someone you go, oh boy, we got to be really careful because he's athletic, long arms, he can get up off the floor, and so you're more willing to challenge.
Largest lead is 12 here in this first half. Williams, a little explosive move, couldn't finish. Jenkins mistimed the jump, and here come the Panthers again. Haas rarely wants to push, and maybe that time it cost him. He tried to force that pass. Jenkins pulls up in transition and rattles it home.
Well, they needed that. That was a heat check 3 by Jenkins. And he hadn't gotten a shot. He had a couple of turnovers, and he went, okay, that's it.
They will check that 3 at the next timeout to see if his foot was behind the line. As of right now, it stands as a 3-point bucket. Another beautiful backdoor, and Whitman beat Jenkins to the spot.
Well, Jenkins just got beat. He got caught up in the wash trying to get through the lane. Really good, strong pass, catch and finish.
Jenkins looks inspired after that last jumper and goes right at Bell.
He does. He's got a little bit of bounce to him right now.
Thought this game was going to be in the 60s. The way these 2 offenses are clicking right now, it's going to be a race to 90. Milwaukee started 2 of 7. They're 10 of their last 10. Prahl's going to make it 11 for 11.
Well, they're going to set a Horizon League record for field goal percentage in the first half if they keep this up. 11 straight possessions, 11 straight shots, 11 straight baskets.
72% shooting for a team that averaged 67 a game this year. They've got 30 with 7 minutes to go. Allen. Detroit just shooting over the top of the defense, hoping it goes in. Stahl, boy, they had numbers if he pushed it. And instead they'll back it down, and why not? Their offense right now can do no wrong.
But see, Laval Jordan just pointed to his think. That was smart. You don't have the big-time scorer that you go, I let him push and attack and do whatever it is he wants. You pull it back out and you run your offense.
Well, the streak has come to an end. We'll see if Water finds his level. 2 straight missed threes, but 2 resets in the same possession. Even when they miss, Cap, Detroit Mercy can't get the ball back.
Detroit Mercy's flat right now. They are not coming up with loose balls. The 50-50 balls are going all Milwaukee's way.
Certainly does not look like a team that lost 9 straight coming in. 7 to shoot on a lengthy possession. Bell goes right around Allen and beat him all the way to the hole.
Timeout, Bakari Alexander. And I'm just telling you, had some real issues defensively. Not rotating, not helping out, standing flat-footed. They have got to do a much, much better job if they're going to stay in this basketball game. 13 down here in the Motor City. They got a nice contingent of fans. I don't think they saw this coming at all.
Jalil Hogan back on the floor for the Titans. He leads them with 6 points, but Milwaukee zoning it up to protect against the big man down low. Jenkins, that was a force from 17.
Yeah, not the shot they were looking for.
Milwaukee 3 of 8 from downtown. 11 of 13 from inside the arc. Good backdoor look. Whitman to Stahl, and he was fouled on the way up. Let's see if they get Hogan. Thought he got him clean, maybe with the body. They will get the big fella with the foul, and Stahl will go to the line.
Just look again, though, how they're able to gash them defensively. There are 3 white shirts, and he's right in the middle of all of them. Doesn't finish the shot, but gets fouled. They are just able to attack right now. They are not in a passive offensive mode where pass, you make a shot. I mean, they are attacking the goal, and that is a different Milwaukee team than what we've seen.
Foul's not an issue. Both teams have 4. Nobody with more than 1 on either side as Stahl makes 1 of 2. After seeing his scoring average from a year ago increase by 11. The alpha male now for this Milwaukee program. Freshman of the year for the Titans, Allen, met by Haas on a switch. They cannot get the ball to Hogan. Jenkins that high post. Scrambling, 4 to shoot. McFauley, wild step back. And beautiful boxing out, although Enzi has come up hobbled underneath the Milwaukee bucket. And McFauley went and stole the ball away. Then he's yanked down and will head to the free throw line. Just a wild series of events as Enzi is holding his left shoulder, and that really cost Milwaukee. He just took a stinger, but just turned into a wild little sequence trying to get the ball up the court.
Well, they don't take care of the ball here. It's relaxing and looking back at the coach. What do you want me to run? That's just a really good steal by McFauley. But I think he slipped, actually. You know, you don't play in many arenas where it's ice underneath. It's chilly in here. And sometimes guys, you know, this is a new floor that gets put down. It's got the Horizon logo and everything on it. We've seen a couple guys already slip. So I think some of that contributed to the foul situation.
I think Stahl was waiting to see if they were going to call timeout because Enzi was behind the play holding his shoulder. Either way, it is the 8th turnover already by Milwaukee, a team that averages only 12. You can clean up a lot of that here in the first half. It'd be a commanding lead. But instead, it's a 12-point Milwaukee lead. So Enzi to the bench, holding that shoulder as he was battling with Jaleel Hogan in the post.
I wouldn't want to battle with Jaleel Hogan. That kid's a monster inside.
He's an NFL linebacker playing forward.
And don't think NFL teams don't have a list of college basketball players that they scout.
Beautiful pull-up by Stahl to earn the 2 points back for Milwaukee.
But I remember coaching a player, and he got a call from the Dallas Cowboys, come in for a free agent tryout. He went down there, and he would have been a defensive back. Very athletic, had never played football. They stick him on the field, and they said, like, that's the second missed dunk we've had out of Hogan. One, he was fouled. This one, he's just got to finish. Anyway, they brought him in to Dallas Cowboys camp. They said, okay, we want you to step out and show us a cloud coverage. And he goes, excuse me? He had no idea what any of the terminology was. He had no idea how to react, and they sent him home in one day. It's not easy to make that transition.
That's a kick by Williams, and it'll take us to a timeout. Both these teams hoping they don't get sent home in one day. Right now, Milwaukee in control here in the first half. Of that shooting. On the other side for Detroit Mercy, have not made a field goal in nearly 4 minutes of game action and are 1 of 8 from three-point range. Been balanced as well for Milwaukee. 6 players have scored. They're led by the 9 of Brock Stahl. He has the ball, has to go quickly. That was a wild floater and a good defensive possession there by the Titans. Bad pass, poked away, Stahl has it. 2-on-1, make it 3-on-1 as he draws the defense, took it himself. And how about the patience of the sophomore?
Well, what I really liked was getting up in the passing lane and not relaxing, being in tune with the pass, getting a hand on it, and it leads to an easy basket at the other end.
Allen, good defense there by Jeremy Johnson. That's a tough turnaround miss. cap, a lot of people will look at it and say, okay, well, one team's shooting 30 percentage points more. That's bound to get even. Well, look at the quality of shots as well.
No question about it. They're getting, there's a travel. They're getting a lot of shots. But let's watch this steal. This is impressive because most guys are just thinking, where's my defensive assignment? I got to get it. Boom. Whitman puts his hand up and in the passing lane just tries to get a piece, and it leads to a basket at the other end. Now, that will show up in a coach's plus-minus chart. That won't show up really in the box score. No one's going to realize that he got his hand up and deflected a ball, but it led to 2 points, and that 2 points could be the difference between winning and losing. It's little things.
Wells did a great job keeping the ball out of Hogan's hands. He's looking for it here. Instead, Williams triggers a three. But Jaleel Hogan is both gassed and a little bit unhappy with the lack of touches in the paint for Detroit. Haas looking. Wickman on a beautiful little set play. Missed the 15-footer, and from underneath, he's going to get 2 free throws.
Right, but what I really liked was they call that play one down. They get the high ball screen. They roll the big guy down low. He sets another screen, and then there's the curl movement in the middle of the lane, and it gets him a pretty good look, and it leads to a foul situation. Really nicely done. Brett Prawl.
Cody Whitman makes the first. Whitman was part of that core group that when the coaching change happened last year, asked for and was granted his release from the university, went through the process and elected to come back. And as this coaching staff has said, no matter what happens with this program moving forward, as the years go by, he will be remembered by Milwaukee, as the program and the fans, for sticking by and seeing it through, and has been instrumental in helping to bridge the gap to a new era of Milwaukee basketball. At three, another miss, and Stoll has his 6th rebound.
Yeah, he didn't really get into that shot, though. You know, Corey Allen is a good shooter. And you watch, his one leg is kind of sticking out. It's got to be shoulders over toes, elbow in, ball hits your hands, load it up, and let's go.
And when loaded up, let's go is automatic for Whitman, who misses for the 4th time from downtown. Foley driving, couldn't get it off the rim. Look at Prawl. Sells out to make sure that Hogan didn't get to that offensive board. Took a shot to the eye as well.
Yeah, he did. He's blinking his eyes. He got popped, hit that deck hard.
Stoll bumped into the body. I think that disrupted the effort on that shot. Milwaukee's gone a bit cold by their early standards as Allen threw Prawl. That should be a block, and it is. And the freshman will shoot too.
Yeah, no question. That's an easy call. No doubt.
Chris Beaver went over and looked at that replay that we were showing you just to make sure there was no intention there from Hogan. It was incidental, albeit violent contact, so
right,
nothing added to it.
Otherwise, you could give a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2 if it's completely, out of the bounds of normal play, if it's excessive, unnecessary, and intentional.
Allen makes 1 of 2. Detroit hasn't scored a field goal in over 6 minutes. But at least have gotten a couple of free throws to try and stay within shouting distance going to the second half. Stoll has 11 for Milwaukee to lead all scorers. He's lurking on the opposite side, but Bell couldn't reverse it. Haas wants a screen with 5 to shoot, goes right around his man again and missed the bunny.
Wow, he had a wide open layup, and I don't know how he missed that.
I also think he slowed down because he realized how wide open he was. Allen wants the trigger and will take it. And that, without a hand to contest, is too easy for the second best three-point shooter in a season in Detroit Mercy history.
But if you're LaVall Jordan, you look up, you go, okay, it should be 41-22. We're up by 19. Instead, it's a 14-point game because you miss a layup and give up a 3. That is a huge, huge turnaround. Gets you a little momentum going in the locker room.
Stole his hand check, but that's not a bad foul by Detroit. They had 1 to give. Next one would put Milwaukee in the bonus, but 4.6 seconds left. And they'll have to come up with the inbound play. stole around 3 screens. Was right through the lane, wild effort, good defense by Detroit, and it will be a little bit of a change of momentum heading into that halftime locker room. In 18 minutes worth of first half action, just a portrait in efficiency where the Panthers will see if it keeps up here for the game's second 20 minutes.
Watching at home, I think you should pay attention. What does Detroit do defensively, and are they really aggressive? They look like they have some renewed vim and vigor, some life to them. If they don't, they're in trouble.
Go right to Hogan, bullied his way to the basket, and will head to the free throw line. That is exactly what Detroit Mercy fans wanted to see. Jaleel Hogan with a full head of steam going right to the rack.
Yeah, you could tell that when they got done getting their tongue lashing from their head coach, he said, here's how we're starting the second half. We're going inside to our guy. We're going to ride and die with our guy. And if he doesn't have a shot, he'll feed it back out, because the best way to a clean perimeter look is through the low post. Feed, refeed, kick back out. Eventually, the defensive man is not going to be able to cover both, and someone's getting an open look.
Just a 53% free throw shooter on the year, but Hogan makes them both to have 8 in the game. Detroit will pick up full court here. Haas is looking for some help. Finally get it across to Jeremy Johnson.
See, they got a little more life to them right now. They're trying with the trap. Just see if they can get out on in the wing here. There's the foul. But you see where the defensive men are? They're not passive sitting back. They are out attacking.
Crack statistician Tim Murray pointing out in the first half.
Tim's got a future at that job.
He does. Milwaukee was pressured by Detroit, but in using that pressure on four possessions, it led to 4 of 5 shooting, just 1 turnover and 9 points scored by Milwaukee, and it really forced Detroit Mercy right back out of that pressure. We'll see if it pays dividends here in the second half. Haas again probing and penetrating, and he was out of control as he ran over McFoley, and the offensive foul will give the ball back to the Titans.
Well, a good defensive possession 2 times in a row now for Detroit. That's just come over. No, I'm going to get hit. Stand in there and take it. Really well done.
And how many times we saw drives in the first half by Milwaukee where there was no one there to check him, and that time 2 defenders collapsing on Haas. Trying to run Allen off a couple of screens. Patrick Robinson is also looking for his shot. Hogan again, right through the defense. Prohl met him and rejected it. Hogan a little too antsy for that defense. Whitman left open. He's 1 of 5 now from 3.
Yeah, just way short. Didn't step in and get his body into that shot.
And allowed Jenkins to step into that one, but he couldn't make him pay. And a technical foul, double technical on Prohl and Hogan. Arm fighting their way up the floor. Prohl can't believe it. Hogan looks like he's going to have some more words.
Jenkins is saying to him, that's really good leadership right there. Really good leadership. Big fella. Live to fight another day. These 2 are going at it inside.
He got tied up. It looked like he may have caught him with the left arm as well. And then as Prohl was trying to discard the contact, double foul called really to set tone right here early in the second half by the officials before things get out of hand. Tough handoffs. Now that pressure starting to pay off. That's an over and back as the Titans did not make contact with it and forced the Milwaukee turnover.
I thought that ball was knocked into the backcourt. Let's take a look again. It may not have been touched. Here it is. Well, that Detroit player may never have touched it. Official said it was not touched by Detroit. Over and back.
The last contact was by a Milwaukee player on that side of the timeline. Good ball movement. Robinson Jr. And the walk-on is bringing energy.
Yep, 9-point ball game. So you go back to the missed layup that you're thinking is going to be a 19-point lead. And from that point on, we've seen a 10-point swing in the game.
That pass deflected again. How about the hustle by the 5'11 senior on the perimeter?
Detroit's got some life to them now. Milwaukee struggling to initiate their offense.
Johnson, nowhere to go. 7 to shoot. Haas sees it. Stahl uses space, and Hogan was there to provide the wall. And then Allen gets called for a foul with 2 seconds left, and Bakari Alexander nearly sprints to midcourt.
He cannot believe it. Jermaine Jackson, their great assistant, up. They cannot believe the call. Okay, take a look here. He spins. I don't. A tough one.
We'd like to survive the weekend, so we will keep our mouths shut on that one. And an opportunity for the sophomore Stahl to get up there and end the Detroit Mercy run, which was 5 straight out of the gate here in the half. And Stahl makes them both as 13. Detroit Mercy playing with more energy. And an opportunity for Robinson to go back-to-back, cannot. And Stahl fights through the trees for the rebound.
Tell you what, Stahl has impressed me with how hard he plays and how physical he is in there.
2 rebounds away from a double-double. Haas bumped by Jenkins. And Laval Jordan is pleading that the play has gotten way too physical here in the second half. Going to help out his guys as much, campaigning from the sideline. And Corey Allen with a couple of words. And a warning has been issued, and now even Bakari Alexander being told by the staff to watch his freshman. And Jaleel Hogan, who just got cooled down by Chris Jenkins, is now going over to cool down Corey Allen.
Because unlike a regular season game, Will, you see, at the end of this game, your season's over. You're not playing anywhere else. So you just want to keep fighting. You want to keep trying to stay alive.
Speaking of fighting, Robinson is making it infinitely difficult right now on Haas on the perimeter, but Hogan had 2 hands on the back of Prawl, and that will be his 3rd foul. Remember the double technical, so now that'll be 3 on Hogan.
Bakari Alexander talking to his staff, talking to Mickey Barrett. What do we do? 3 fouls. We're back in the game, but we're still 11 down, but there's a ton of time. Do I leave him in? Hogan was pleading, no, don't take me out.
They don't hear, but Blackshear is going to come get him at the next dead ball, so he has to be careful. Let's see if Milwaukee tries to get Prawl a touch in the post.
I would go right at him.
Haas goes right at him, but threw the ball away. Johnson driving. He goes through, and without the Hogan presence, he's fouled by McFarland.
But if you watch that play again, Hogan wants no part of it defensively, and he's right. He is not coming over at all.
It's almost defensive indifference in the post by Detroit Mercy. And that'll put Jeremy Johnson, an 85% free throw shooter, on the line for 2.
Yeah, Hogan's coming out of the ball game, and it's the right call from a young coach. That's a very mature call.
Now watch the energy level for Detroit Mercy with Hogan on the bench. That has been an issue this year. Hogan had the performance of the year in the Horizon League when he single-handedly put his team on his shoulders and won at Oakland early in the year, in marquee game on ESPNU, scoring 39 in that game. And there was no answer. He's the emotional catalyst. Allen trying to deliver. No. Jenkins got it back. Got it back again. Had it stripped away. Allen through the lane, and that is a blocking foul, as they say. I believe Johnson was in the restricted area.
Yep, Chris Beaver on the call.
Good second half energy. Milwaukee still holding a double-digit lead, but Detroit Mercy going nowhere with the season on the line. And reestablish this neutral site homecoming of sorts feel for the postseason tournament is at the line. Corey Allen out of the timeout, misses the front end. Bakari Alexander. He won a couple of neutral site games, and he was a force for Detroit Mercy back in the mid to late 90s. In fact, kind of exited before Laval Jordan became a household Horizon League name for Butler, but certainly great respect for the man that would eventually be his coaching friend and now one of his best friends in the business. As Milwaukee, maybe a bit out of control by Bell, but gets the benefit of the call.
Well, here he comes. You're right, a little out of control and in the restricted area. So no doubt you're going to get the call, and it was a block anyway as the defender was moving. Just saw Greg Campy in here now scouting.
His team will get the winner of our next contest between Youngstown State and Cleveland State. The 8-9 game on this, the opening night before the quarterfinals, will be spread out over 2 days of action. Top 2 seeds playing their quarterfinal matchups tomorrow, then we'll have the winners getting Sunday off. And seeds 3 through 6 all just kind of hanging around waiting. They will not play until Sunday. As we'll get used to 6 teams, Cap, and then welcome 4 more into the party come Sunday evening as Allen was fouled out on the perimeter.
Milwaukee has got to be really happy right now that they've had not a great start to the second half, but they're still a dozen up. Detroit's come out with really good energy, and they've been able to exactly knock 2 points off the halftime margin.
And that early spurt of energy, again, I would say the fan base in here certainly pro-Detroit, given that we are in their home city. A timeout and a couple of Milwaukee buckets and free throws has certainly staved off whatever momentum was built as the ball goes back to the Panthers. I mean, we are 5.5 minutes in here, Cap. Milwaukee has not made a field goal here this half. They're 0 of 1, and yet they've maintained a 12-point lead. It was 14 at the break.
That's what I told you. It just feels different. That they're not smooth with the ball. They just turned it over again. They've got some issues ahead of them if they don't get this thing figured out real quick and get back to what they were doing in the first half, running their stuff and being able to attack in the half court.
Turned it over 12 times already. That's their season average. Laval Jordan just told Cody Wickman no more dribble handoffs. Bell had his pocket picked by McFoley, who will go coast to coast and miss it! Couldn't make up his mind whether to dunk it or lay it in, and Stahl is fouled by Blackshear on the other end.
Well, there's a backboard that Dr. Naismith put in. You use the backboard if you're not going to dunk it. And he doesn't know, should I dunk it? Maybe I shouldn't dunk it. Either flush the thing or lay it in off the backboard.
So again, Milwaukee has not shown really any offensive firepower, because that is already the 8th team foul on Detroit Mercy here in the second half. So Milwaukee, who shoots 65% from the free throw line, can start earning free throws. Blackshear's already picked up 3. Remember, he gave Hogan a breather, so now your 2 big men for Detroit Mercy have 3 fouls each.
It's one of these games where I've been where Bakari is. I wasn't a head coach, I was the assistant, where you feel like we got to keep climbing this mountain, and you finally chip away, and then, miss a layup. They bang a 3. They hit a couple, and you look up and you go, you got to be kidding me. I think we're playing better and we're still a dozen down.
Allen flashing. Not really interested in that shot. Blackshear got the board, and he's fouled as he came down with it. Bryce Enzi's back in for the first time for Milwaukee. He's got a little bit of that kinesiology tape on that left shoulder that he hurt battling with Hogan in the first half and couldn't wrestle that rebound away from Blackshear. There's 6 fouls now in Milwaukee, so both teams now in the bonus. We'll be shooting a lot of free throws in this one as Blackshear's blocked by Enzi, but will get the benefit of the call.
Good cut. Nice wheel action on the baseline inbounds play. He rolled to the basket. They were able to deliver it and create the foul situation.
Blackshear's 71% free throw shooter ushered into heavier minutes with the Hogan foul trouble. It's amazing to think that we're nearing 6 minutes played. Milwaukee has shot the ball once in the second half and missed it.
And I told you that if you watch their facial expression, just their body language, they're a different team than they were the first 20 minutes. First 20 minutes, they were a hot knife through butter.
We have to go back to 3:27 in the first half, the last time Milwaukee made a basket, and yet they dodged 2 free throws there from Detroit Mercy. Here comes the pressure.
They make a basket here, and they've equaled their halftime lead. They make a 3, they've got bigger lead. Detroit really doing a nice job attacking the ball on the perimeter.
Forcing Milwaukee to make plays. Prawl. Blackshear's got 3 on him. Go right at him. Dragged his foot, but maybe got rid of the pass. Haas, good hesitation. Dumped it off. Prawl has to hurry and got fouled right before the horn. That's using 30 seconds.
Well, Bakari Alexander's got a good point. He's saying the foul came after the shot clock. Let's take a look.
He wanted to travel first, didn't get it. And now Prawl, you'll take a look, watch the lights behind the backboard.
Well, that foul came. There was still time on that shot clock. Absolutely right. Officials
got it right. Steps to the line. He's now got 8. Averaging 13 a game his last 3 coming in. He shot it at 72% from the field in Horizon League play. Milwaukee's going to have 2 players shoot over 60% from the field for the first time in school history this year. He and Bryce Enzi, the other one. Now Milwaukee showing zone.
3-2, 1-2-2. You can call it anything you want. It's a different look. Forces a travel.
No argument from Bakari Alexander. That is turnover number 8 for Detroit Mercy.
When you go to a zone, it's not only it's something different. Now, man to man, you can put it on the deck, attack. It's a different way to think. When you're facing a zone, especially a zone that's aggressive out top, you got to think, okay, hold on. What zone is that? What is our attack? Okay, we got to get movement, got to attack gaps. And all of a sudden you look up, there's like 12 seconds on the shot clock, and you try to do something you're not capable of, and it leads to a travel.
Milwaukee has not made a field goal in 10 minutes of game action. And Haas is hand-checked by Patrick Robinson Jr.
And as the right call. And I have the card sitting right in front of me because I bring it to every game I do. It's called RSBQ, and there are fans. I've gotten tweets at, why do they call all these fouls with the guy just puts his hand on his hip? You cannot guide a dribbler. That is an automatic whistle. And if the official doesn't call it, he's going to hear from his supervisor who's going to say, I don't care if you don't think it's a foul. That's the way we want it called. It's called freedom of movement, rhythm, speed, balance, and quickness. That's the way these guys are taught to call the game.
Robinson now has 3 fouls. Blackshear has 4. Hogan still sits. Hogan is back in now with 3 fouls for Detroit Mercy.
They call it that way because they don't want physically bigger teams to be able to impose their will. They want guys to be able to make basketball plays.
3 from the corner is hit by Robinson to get back within 12. Second 3. Stoll has to hurry to beat the 10-second call and throw it over the head of Harvey for Milwaukee's 14th turnover.
Well, Stoll had a chance, I thought, coming up the court right in front of us, to be able to dribble that ball across half court, but then he decided to throw that tough angle pass to the other side of the floor and threw it too high.
Oh, beautiful look behind. Hogan slipped to the defensive assignment, and it was an easy layup.
Yeah, you're not going to stop him too often in that type of situation.
5 straight Detroit points as that one's kicked by Jenkins with Milwaukee scrambling to get it in. You feel like the Panthers are just playing with fire right now, even though they're up 10.
Completely agree. They have not been able to get any kind of sustained offense going.
Haas may have discarded his man to get free, but Milwaukee will take it any way they can. How do the Panthers find offense? Get fouled has been the only answer here in the second half. Prawl against Hogan. Spinning him down, and great defense by Hogan protecting with 3 fouls.
He used his body, he didn't use his arms. That was a really good defensive play.
Jenkins couldn't get it to him on the other side. Williams will instead deliver it to him. Steamrolls his way right into the body, created space, couldn't finish, but there's Williams to crash. It's a 7-0 Detroit Mercy run, and a timeout called by Milwaukee. With the under 12 media timeout there to try and just stem the tide, and especially against this full court pressure that's forced 4 turnovers in 7 possessions of utilization here in the second half.
Well, they've got to be more aggressive now bringing the ball up the court. Just
That's
threw it away
pass.
and got very lucky. That is just a lucky break that they were able to come up with that loose ball.
And Prawl can't get rid of it. Finally, Bell comes to bail him out. He's driving, looking for contact, and gets the call against Dre Black.
Right. There's a lot of fans
up, but look, it's an 8-point lead right now, but unless something drastic changes, it's only a matter of time before Detroit Mercy gets tied in this game and perhaps takes the lead, although out of the timeout, double bonus in effect, and Jeremiah Bell steps up and makes the free throw. And this half, Milwaukee now 10 of 13 from the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, do I see it changing? They have got to be more aggressive, get back to attacking offensively. Detroit is trying to force them to, get the ball inside, of course, to Hogan, to play at a faster pace, and that's not where Milwaukee succeeds. Back to the zone.
Hogan wants Prawl one-on-one, gets him there, and again, can't finish close. Prawl's about as good of a physical match in the Horizon League as Hogan can see. Big barrel-chested body, doesn't get dislodged very easily, and now trying to help out his teammate, and does, with Haas bringing it across. And Milwaukee's almost playing 4 corners right now, Cap. Run the clock down, try and get some contact, make free throws, and guard. Bell's going to have to heave it. And there's your first field goal of the half. Bell's beat the clock again.
And all of a sudden, you're back up 13. That's what I told you when I remember sitting on the bench where you go, okay, we're coming. Here we come. We got momentum. We got energy. And they hit a shot, and you're like, you're kidding me. All that work, and we're 13 down?
Never seen anything like this as Prawl gets called. I should say Hogan gets called for the offensive fouls. He put the chicken wing into the face of Prawl. The floor, I don't see any reason why you don't try and post him up against Hogan.
Completely agree with you.
Immediately double Bell. Sophomore works around it. Gets drawn into a double team and is able to knock it off of the body of Patrick Robinson Jr. He can't believe it, thought that Bell had stepped out in the sideline.
That was a really good tightrope job by Bell. Really impressive.
Bell, the hero of the moment, has made a couple of shot clock beating threes. Whitman looking for the more traditional route. Left another one short, and Stull was fouled going for the putback, and he'll have 2 free throws.
But again, nobody boxing out. Detroit was flat-footed watching that shot. Nobody boxing out, and you don't have the big fella Hogan in there who probably comes up with that. Here's the look. He gets a pretty clean look. Okay, I would like to know if I was coaching Detroit, I could tell you what Bakari's going to say when he watches the tape. He's going to say to Gerard Williams, son, you're standing. If you watch that again, watch 11 White, I guarantee you that coach is going to say, put your body on somebody. That's how you get back in the game. You can't give up these second opportunities.
Stull leads all scorers with 15. And thanks to the 14 off the bench by Jeremiah Bell, Milwaukee outscoring the Titans bench today 18-4.
Well, we have now played to the 9:50 mark of the second half, and we have the same exact deficit that Detroit had to climb at halftime. And they had really had momentum for a while.
Robinson, too strong, may have forced that one quickly. Blackshear comes in to win a 50-50 ball, and then he's fouled trying to get it back out. And that will send Blackshear to the line. And they will get Cody Wickman. That's his first. Enzi has 3. The only Milwaukee player in foul difficulty. There are 3 Titans that have 3 or 4 fouls.
Don't forget, the next game we're going to watch one of the better scorers I've seen this year in Cameron Morse. I had his game at UIC when he scored 44, and he was awesome.
Blackshear's now missed 3 free throws this half. Milwaukee shows a new wrinkle to help break the pressure. Bell driving as the only made field goal of the half, and he's going to add a second as Bell is breaking out here at the Joe.
All of a sudden, they have a chance to make a free throw to be 17 up. Turns the corner, and again, there's nobody on the backside that's there to help. Bell has him on his hip, finishes, and now has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play,
which would equal a new career high for the sophomore. Perfect from the three-point line, and now 4 of 5 from the free throw line. 17, a new career best for the sophomore from Louisville. Williams driving. Couldn't curl it up. Enzi's able to run it down, but stepped on the baseline, and Detroit will get a reset.
I think this, there's a lot of Detroit fans here. I think they're shocked.
It is certainly taking the energy out of the building. McFoley, well, that one took forever to fall from the sky, but it falls pure.
Needed it. Big shot by McFoley.
He's got 12. Check that 9 for McFoley, his first 3 made. And Milwaukee looks more comfortable now in breaking this pressure. We've gone away from Haas, the primary ball handler. Stull, good cross court. Wickman thought about it, thought better of it. And Bell was hand checked by Jenkins. That's 3 on Jenkins. Blackshear, Robinson, and Hogan all have 4. Black also with 3. And the Titans look demoralized by the whistle as well here in the second half. They've been whistled for 15 fouls in the second half, as Bell makes the first. 21 fouls against Detroit in this game, 14 for Milwaukee. And Bell continues to add to his career high. Milwaukee will sub. Johnson will come get Stull.
Get him a breather, and then when you put him back in, you're going to go, big fella, you got to go the rest of the way. I need you.
Stull has played all 29 minutes. And this will be his first chance to suck a little wind. Detroit Mercy needs to find that energy that they started this half with, and Bryce Barnes commits the foul, which means Chris Jenkins will head to the line for a 1-and-1.
So a shot of Laval Jordan. And just because the season ends, whenever it is, today, tomorrow, NCAA tournament, these coaches immediately hit the road and go right back out recruiting again.
And your favorite season, silly season, begins.
Baseball, baby.
Well, no, I'm talking about the college coaching carousel.
Oh, man, that is silly season.
It is silly season.
Silly.
I don't know who has more fun at the Final Four, the fans or the coaches' agents who get to work the
work the room,
work the floor,
work the ADs, and there'll be a bunch of changes coming.
And for all fans of the league. We hope none in the league. Great group of young and old. This coaching fraternity. Got a couple of fresh ones here in this one, and Val Jordan trying to deliver the first upset in just the first game of this tournament. And how about the second half by Jeremiah Bell?
He has been magnificent.
On the other end, nice drive by Corey Allen, but they cannot afford to trade baskets at this juncture.
That was a really nice pass.
Bell has a game-high 21 as that one smacked out of bounds. And in 12 minutes and 10 seconds here in the second half. Milwaukee just 3 of 6 from the floor in the second half. They have shot 19 free throws, however, since halftime, and have equaled their halftime lead of 14 points. And have sort of demoralized any thought of a Detroit Mercy comeback after halftime. Stahl, good drop down to Enzi. Bell, oh, a nice long stretch to the basket. Boy, he wasn't kidding when he was going to set a new career high. He made double his past one.
He is locked in right now. Just locked in.
That pass barely corralled by Allen.
That's offense. 100%.
Johnson in position. Allen will get called for it.
That is an offensive foul of frustration. Milwaukee's taken that dip. They've come back strong, and this is just get off of me. Right in front of the official.
Almost feels like a foregone conclusion as we'll walk the other way as Bell was slapped from behind.
I think they got Corey Allen again.
Allen, he's now got 3. Robinson, Hogan, and Blackshear with 4. Black, now Allen, and Jenkins with 3 for Detroit. And it will be free throws 20 and 21 for Milwaukee here in just in the second half as Bell walks to the line to extend the career high he's had tonight in scoring. .24 now for the sophomore, who's playing his way onto the scouting report for tomorrow and a lot of scouting reports for the 2017-18 season. Jenkins lost the handle, and it'll be an over and back against Detroit Mercy. Milwaukee didn't win a basketball game in the month of February and are up 17 on Detroit Mercy to begin March.
Yeah, their last win was Friday night, January 27.
Basketball.
That's the beauty of March.
Whitman.
Book it. Book it, book it, book it. 20 up.
McFauley trying to answer, knew it was off immediately. Stahl grabs the rebound. He's now got a double-double. 16 points to go along with 10 rebounds. And Milwaukee can smell blood in the water. Bell to go 4 for 4 from 3.
Get a timeout. This one's jumped the tracks. And they now are, 6 of 9
in the second half. They have built a 14-point lead out to 23, taking less than 10 shots.
So they're 6 of their last 7.
That's correct.
And they had another run where they had made 11 consecutive baskets.
In the first half.
Shifting tides, ebb and flow. Wow.
Ebbed and flow right into the 10 seed, advancing to the quarterfinals tomorrow. Hogan back in after a long breather, and he stepped on the baseline. 12 Detroit turnovers.
They're almost starting to play like they're resigned to their fate. Just one of those nights. Didn't have their A game. And Milwaukee did.
They will face second-seeded Valparaiso tomorrow. An 8 o'clock Eastern tip that Cap and I will have right here on ESPN3. A Valparaiso team that will be without the player of the year. Whitman, that's off. And Allen with the long rebound. Trying to do everything against the world, and Stahl came away with it. Milwaukee just needs to not get hurt at this point in time as Wickman, that's a wild shot. And Laval Jordan is furious at his senior. Williams stepping through. Bump, no call. And Stull is fouled by Williams and will walk the other way. But now you've got this interesting wrinkle capped with this tournament. I mean, crazier things have happened in this game. Let's go ahead and punch Milwaukee through to tomorrow. You're facing the 2 seed, but you're facing them without Alec Peters, the all-everything in this league.
Right.
Now, Valparaiso has Shane Hammock. They've got Tavon Walker. They've got guys that can step up to fill the void. But it's a much less challenging role. It's a much less
much less different
intimidating
Correct.
situation to be in than a Valparaiso team with Alec Peters.
But maybe it's a Valparaiso team that someone else steps up and says, okay, we knew that guy was going to take 20 shots a game. Those 20 shots are going to all of us now. It's tough to game plan for them because you don't know what you're going to face. You know, and if you're Valparaiso, you're coming off a loss at Northern Kentucky.
Foley slipping, no. Johnson with it. He's running out. Has nobody there to help him and got fouled by Williams, and that'll be 4 on him.
Yep.
Excuse me, on Allen. That is 4 on Allen.
Check out the stats from the first and second half. I mean, that is just unreal. They are going to go back tonight and game plan, watch tape, get something to eat, and the coaches are going to literally go, you believe we had them 25 down? 25. Now 26. I mean, if you find a way to close this out and to upset Valparaiso, you're going to sit there and go, oh my goodness. Milwaukee is still rolling. But there's, still time left in this one, 5:26. And then you got a big challenge against the 2 seed.
You know the message in that Panther locker room was, it's a brand new season. Forget the record, throw it out the window. And a team that has undermanned, undersized, under-talented all season long with answered the challenge of their coaches as Allen will go to the line for 2 free throws. Took that message to heart, Cap, and they've just come out. They took a couple of punches. They've shot it with reckless abandon and are going to pull off the first shocker of the weekend.
This is, both teams had a rough year, so shocking sometimes are when you take out Valpo tomorrow. That's a different story this weekend. But there's a shot at Bakari Alexander, and I just saw him up. You could really tell what someone's like when they're going through a tough time, and tonight's a tough game. He was up clapping. He said, come on, guys, let's go. I love the positive message and the positivity he's showing.
Allen took that pass away and then couldn't convert over Stull. A lot of credit to Detroit Mercy, still fighting, and now Johnson rises to finish. Boy, he got off the floor quickly.
He did, and there's nothing Jaleel Hogan could do there other than foul, so he said, I want to stay alive. Otherwise, I'm out.
Allen's going to go get his the final 5 minutes and finishes again, the Horizon League Freshman of the Year. An uneconomic 16 points tonight on 13 shots.
So this was a 48-40 game.
That is correct.
And you've gone a 28-11 run. Crazy game.
And for those maybe just tuning in and wondering how it got here, Milwaukee has pulled away in this game despite a stretch where they went 12 minutes without a field goal in this game. They went 12 minutes without a field goal. And they're approaching 80 in a laugher now late.
Right, they're trying to go up 27 right here. And you think about that, 12 minutes without a made basket, only 2 attempts at that point.
One of the craziest games I can recall in how many years coming to this tournament. Not just that it's the number 10 seed, the team that finished with 9 straight losses at the bottom of the Horizon League standings, winning, which in and of itself is a bit of a story. But to do it the way they've done it, Jeremiah Bell has a career high 29.
How about his numbers tonight? Somebody says, how'd you play tonight, son? 29 points. I was 8 for 8 from the floor, 4 for 4 from 3, 9 for 11 at free throws. I had a rebound, 1 foul, I played just 23 minutes to this point.
No assists, however. I think he's going to have to pass the ball a bit tomorrow with Valparaiso taking away that offensive effort as Jenkins finishes for his 8th point.
It's a crazy sport.
Johnson flashed middle to get that. He's got a lot of defense coming from behind him. It's poked away, but right into the hands of Prawl. This game taking an eternity to get to the finish line. We still have a TV timeout to get to as well. Both teams know it's over. With this, can't do anything but wait for those final seconds to tick down. Harvey. No, Prawl got the reset, and then it poked away by McFoley. Foley trying to take. Johnson had good position. By the way, McFoley now has 5 steals in this game. They've forced 16 Milwaukee turnovers, but it certainly hasn't been enough.
I'm still shocked by this result. Not that Milwaukee's going to win. Just how this game unfolded and the margin right now is shocking.
And Hogan fouls out.
And he's done.
45 feet from the basket. Stull will have 2 free throws to pour some salt in the wound after this timeout. Detroit on Sunday. Come check it out.
Come hang out with us.
You'll be up early then. As out of the timeout, all Milwaukee. Brock Stull will try and pad the lead. It's been all Panthers in this one. Had a hockey stick left on the court from a timeout promotional activity.
Yeah, they had the 2 mascots. The first one to make a basket would win. And as typical for tonight's game, Milwaukee's mascot went through a real drought, but finally scored. Detroit's mascot still hadn't scored, and the hockey stick was still laying on the court where they had to shoot from.
Boy, Brock Stull, how about this line cap? I mean, it's been all about Jeremiah Bell tonight. Stull takes a seat. He may be done for the night. 20 points, 11 rebounds for the sophomore Stull. And now all of a sudden, this team, you look at Stull and Bell, 2 sophomores. Milwaukee's not going to be 10th in the Horizon League next year, I can promise you that.
No shot.
Jenkins rises and fires, no. And there's Harvey for the rebound. The man of the night brings it up, Jeremiah Bell. His career high was 16 before this evening. He's got 29 right now in this Milwaukee romp.
You and I got another ball game coming up.
Cleveland State and Youngstown State. That game's going to tip a little bit after 8 o'clock with this one running long. As Bell misses for the first time from the field tonight. He's now 4 of 5 from 3 and 8 of 9 from the floor. And how about this one? I don't want to use all the material early, Cap. But Cleveland State and Youngstown State have played nearly 90 times in the program's history, as Allen will get a chance in an and one here late. This will be the first time they ever play in a Horizon League tournament.
That's correct. That's right. Very good. That's a
now, granted,
interesting stat.
Youngstown State entered the league a little over a decade ago, and then before that they were mid-con foes together.
Gary Waters, Horizon League tournament record 9-9.
Hard to keep 500 postseason records.
He's
almost all the time it ends in a loss.
Good coach and one of the best dress coaches in college basketball. He's always annually on that list.
A little run for Dan Studer in for the first time for Milwaukee. Just take shot clock violations if they really wanted them. Bell looking for 30. He's got it.
31 points for him. Crazy. What a night. 1
point away from doubling up his career high. Allen, he'll be back next year and be a focal point and building piece for this Detroit team. As Robinson nets the 3. He's got 9, all of them from behind the arc. First year for Bakari Alexander will end with an 8-23 mark. Hogan will be back. Corey Allen will be back. A few pieces that had to sit out this year for the Titans will also be back as Harvey drills the 3.
Again, they went over 11 minutes without a basket, and they're going to put up 85 or more.
Quick timeouts. This is substitutions can get in for the first time and get into the box score.
If I said to you one team tonight's going to score 85 points, your ticket would not have been punched on Milwaukee.
No. And we are staying at some fine downtown establishments that will take your money, and you would have not gotten short odds on that one.
No.
As Bell exits, career high 31. His previous of 16 obliterated in a masterful performance tonight for Milwaukee. Jenkins just has not had the shot tonight. The senior will wrap up his career. 8 points in this one, and Milwaukee will close it out and advance to play Valparaiso tomorrow in the quarterfinals here at Motor City Madness. Stay here as that one knocked out. 14 on the shot clock.
Well, I think I'm going to go eat a Little Caesars. Get ready for another ball game in about 30 minutes.
That shot tells it all right there for Jaleel Hogan. He'll have a chance to make amends next year, but the early exit from the tournament for the second-team All-Horizon League performer who was great all year but just never got it going today. Foul trouble, a technical, kind of hurt him with that and fouling out as Williams is fouled. Jumper rattles out. Horn will sound with Gerard Williams closing his career with a bucket for Detroit. And Milwaukee is on to the quarterfinals. They withstand an incredible scoring drought in this game.